This whole month, we're talking about practice, exercising your soul. And this morning's message is 15 minutes per day. 15 minutes per day. That's all it takes to exercise your soul. And what do you do in those 15 minutes? Well, I'm going to tell you very, very quickly what you do. And if you really did this for 15 minutes every day consistently, you would transform your life. You would transform your life. So the three things are very simple. You might have heard them before here or other places. Pray, meditate, journal. 5 minutes of each one, 15 minutes a day. That's a good enough beginning for me. What will it do? When you journal, you'll start realizing there are ideas floating around your mind that are not true of God, therefore cannot be true of yourself, and you will start changing your thinking. When you pray, you will pray for that which your heart really desires, and you'll start seeing the evidence of those prayers because there's a connection. Everything that we see, everything that we can touch, everything we hear has been created twice. It's first of all an idea and then becomes a thing. A thought takes form. So really what we're looking at is thick thoughts. That's all we're looking at. Thick thoughts are all over the place. Our experiences are thickened thoughts. The principle that we talk about is so simple. It's simple to explain. It's simple to understand. And that simply is that we're surrounded by a creative intelligence that we call God. It's divine mind. It's the way God works. And that beloved presence loves its expression so much. It set us free to discover our connection to it. And when we start realizing that we're connected, that whatever we think about must surely come about, we start changing our thinking and we start changing our praying. And when our prayers match the presence, so when we're praying from an awareness of presence, not to presence, but from that awareness, it's right where you are in you, then we start seeing results of those prayers in our lives. It's pretty simple. In first year class, we compare it to a farmer planting a seed. And the seed is your thought. It goes into the soil of divine mind or subjective mind or the soul, your soul. And then it becomes form. So if you plant thoughts of love, you will experience loving relationships. If you plant thoughts of joy, you will experience joyful relationships. If you plant thoughts of wholeness, of health, you'll experience health. Very simple. Many of us have proven it over and over and over again. The proof of prayer, we call a demonstration. When your prayers actually manifest, it's called a demonstration. That's just part of our language. We don't have to call it a demonstration, but that's what Ernest Holmes called it, so that's what we've continued to call it. It just means this is the proof that this thing works. How many of you have had demonstrations of prayer? Yeah, see? All around. Some of you, both hands. Okay, so you know this thing works. This thing works. And as Johnny Coleman used to say, it works if you work it. But what gets in the way of us committing to that 15 minutes? Up too late the night before, can't get up early. Too much on our plate. And who's put that on our plate? Too much good on our plate. Well, it all came the same way. It all came the same way. And who's the chooser of your thoughts? You are. Who's the chooser of your thinking? You're the one that gets to decide what you think. You're the one that gets to decide what your relationship is to the rest of creation and to the Creator. No one else can decide for you. Brilliant seekers like Ernest Holmes and gurus will have set some ideas for us. But they're only ideas for us to try on, like a jacket. If they don't fit for us, they're probably not ours. So my desire for you, since this is all about practice, is to just make a decision today. Okay, I'm going to do that one thing, 15 minutes every morning. I'm going to devote to either thinking about God, talking to God, listening to God talk to me, or all three if you so desire. And just see what it's like. You know, it takes 21 days to change a habit. So would you be willing to commit 21 days? Yes. Good. Yay, good. Okay. So I've had a very interesting week, and it was a week that was filled with the demonstration of when you practice, then good things happen in your life. It doesn't mean that you won't have problems to overcome too, but the tendency is there's going to be more good things, more things that are to your liking than there are things that are not to your liking. And I just want to tell you about two very special things. Wednesday night, I got an email from my friend Darren McClure saying, do you want to see Dr. Emoto do a water blessing tomorrow at noon? Well, Dr. Emoto, those of you who were in Beyond Limits know who he is, and the rest of you may or may not. He's a very famous Japanese scientist who studied the effects of consciousness on water. And when even a glass of water has a word written on it, the word influences the water, the crystals in the water. The crystals in the water, when influenced by the word love, are beautiful. They're white and pure and gorgeous. And the crystals in the water, if the word is hate, they're atypical. They're dark, and they don't seem to have the same kind of form or symmetry that the crystals of the things affected by the word love. His point is, this is a water planet. We're water beings. Our bodies are 70% water. How important it is for us to be filling ourselves with those positive words. Because when we do, then our life changes for the better. And then he did this beautiful blessing. There was more. Talk to Darren, talk to Lisa, talk to Diane. There was 2 hours more than what I'm going to tell you about. The blessing itself, he did in Japanese and translated, and then he had us all turn to the ocean and just see the goodness of the ocean. And from here to Japan, that it's all filled with pure love. And then he did the Ho'oponopono blessing. How many of you know what that is? Well, for those of you who don't, it's an ancient Hawaiian blessing. It's so easy. It's only 4 phrases. It's an ancient Hawaiian blessing that has been used to change the consciousness in huge ways. And there's just 4 things, 4 phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And he did that in English. It was the only part he did in English. And he had us, he said, water, I'm sorry. Water, I love you. Water, please forgive me. Water, thank you. Now, where we did this blessing was right by the now closed nuclear power plant. And so we were blessing all the future generations to have clean, healthy water and be healthy beings. Darren will be happy to share more of that next month. He's going to share his demonstration about that. It was just, to me, such a wonderful experience to be in his energy, his presence. And it was synchronous. It was serendipitous. It was not something that was planned months in advance. There were maybe 50 or 60 of us there. This very, very famous man. Anyway, that was one good thing. The other good thing has to do with all of you. On Wednesday, 7 of our practitioner interns and 4 of us, already licensed practitioners, went to Encinitas to do something called orals panels. And the orals panels then provide proof. Now, here's the great thing about our new organization. Right there and there, you're either in or you're out. If you pass, you're now a practitioner. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. Right instantaneously, you're a practitioner. And I am so proud because this has never happened that I've been in orals panels many, many times. I've never seen this happen. All 7 passed. All 7 passed. And I am so proud of them, and I'm going to call them forward because to show you what happens, I just want to tell you a little bit about their process. 2 years of classes before they began practitioner training, then 30 weeks for 1 year, then 30 more weeks of intensive training. Intensive. The first year was all a personal development, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun because you look at yourself and you go, ugh, I've got so much work to do. How can I ever be a practitioner? It wasn't fun, but it was very powerful. And the second year was all about being a practitioner, learning to truly listen to people, learning to truly see what is behind what the complaint is, what the real issue is. And I am so thrilled. So I'm going to first of all ask to come to the platform Reverend Aline Kramer, who is our assistant minister in charge of the practitioners. And then I'm going to ask all of the currently licensed practitioners to come and stand behind us, and then as holding consciousness. And then I'm going to individually call up here our newly licensed practitioners. So hold your applause till they all get up. So Kim Province, Dave Friedman, Patrick Freeman, Lee Bauscher, where are the rest of my, Tony Sparks, Christine Lowe, and Sophia Tasunian. If I got you. No, you guys have to be up here. The new ones have to be up here. You have to be up here with us. Okay, all right. So one of the things that you all learned, was how to listen. I'm going to put you on the spot and have you really listen to each other. Because you get not 1 minute, not even 30 seconds, but one short thing that you learned in these 4 years or so of training. And we're going to just pass the mic. You don't get a long time. This is short. And we're going to start, and we're going to end with Kim. We're going to start with Sophia. So that means you have to listen to each other. So one short thing. Your name, first of all?
I'm Sophia Tosunian. Mm-hmm. And the most powerful thing that I learned is just how huge God is, and that enormous presence is within me.
Thank you.
I'm Patrick Freeman, and I learned that pride can be our biggest downfall, but it also can be overcome.
Thank you.
My name is Tony Sparks, and I learned that even though I was gone for 6 months, that I was able to Skype our classes and to stay in the consciousness of an intern practitioner and just to be in that place of joy to hold for my family and for our class and myself.
Yep, thank you. One thing.
My name is Lee Bauscher, and I learned that at any place and time, I do know all that I need to know. Intuition is there, and I can express it.
Thank you.
Dave Friedman. My voice is lower than these guys, huh? I found the space where I can go and access the actual inner spirit that is me, and to be able to go out and find it in everybody I hang out with.
All right.
I'm Christine Lowe, and what I discovered is that I truly have an intention to know God within myself and also to go forward as a practitioner in non-judgment of others.
Thank you. Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim, and the biggest lesson would be just give love.
Thank you. Let's acknowledge our new practitioners. Let's go do that. I'm going to go over there. No, stay. So, okay. Now we have a little ceremony, and we have the practitioner standing behind you to support you, and you need to answer these questions together in a group. So I'm going to say part, and then you'll answer, and then Reverend Aline will say the next thing. And I need glasses for this, these little bits of writing. The sacred path you walk is being honored here today. You have chosen to serve God, Centers for Spiritual Living, the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, by living fully the principles that we teach. Each of you has followed your heart and has answered your calling. Being a licensed practitioner is a sacred obligation, a journey of love, and a dedication of all aspects of your being. Do each of you today promise to uphold the teachings of the science of mind in everything you say, in everything you do, and in everything you are? If so, please say, I do.
I do. Do you promise to live in conscious awareness of your own divinity and the divinity of others? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to hold inviolate the confidentiality and identity of those who come to you for assistance unless you receive their express permission to do otherwise? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you promise to abide by the Religious Science Practitioner Code of Ethics? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to the discipline of regular and faithful prayer so that you may expand the expression of your life in loving service to God and humankind? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to behold the divine perfection in all who may call upon you? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to serve whomever may call upon you in time of need? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to a constant recognition of the one Spirit within all people, regardless of race, gender, faith, orientation, or station in life? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Do you dedicate yourselves to serve whomever you call upon? Will you continue to study and expand your consciousness that you may be more effective in your chosen way? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
To the best of your ability, will you minister to the needs of humanity? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Okay, so now I charge you, Sophia, Patrick, Tony, Lee, Dave, Christine, and Kim, to go forth into the world, permitting those who come to you to be healed by your presence and by your example. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge our 7 new licensed practitioners. And now you may be seated. You may go. Did they take more than 15 minutes a day? Yes. Yes. Did they read more than one book? Yes, hundreds more. But did they start there? Yes, most of us start in the same place. Most of us start in that very same place where we say, okay, I'm willing to practice. I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to say yes to this new idea, the idea of the truth of my being. So, are you willing to practice? Are you willing to see that God quality in you fully realized so that whatever it was in the meditation is now so evident to all the people around you that we could say, just by looking at you, I see you as love, I see you as creativity, I see you as joy, I see you as wholeness. That's the goal. The goal is to be it. And the goal is to see it in everyone else. I'm so very proud of these people because they have done their work. They've come a huge way in the last 4 years. And some of them came a huge way in the last 6 weeks. It was really great. So I think they're wonderful examples for all of us. And I think that the more you get to know them and hang out with them and just be in their consciousness, the better your life will be. And so it is.